And when we last left off, oh man, I can't even read my writing. I hate that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Uh, so you checked on the kid, Nora, uh, when she returned, and discovered that he had been badly hurt by the creature that the other two ended up fighting in the dark. Uh, you managed to bandage him, and I believe also your companion. Why am I spacing on names?
Yes.
Ralph.
Rough.
Yeah. So you bandaged the two of them, I believe, or at the very least helped out some. Together, you made it into the loading dock, and finally outside, making your way back to the tavern. You got back inside. Hey, oh, hold on one second, guys. My stream name is not updated. It should be updated now, hopefully. Uh, thanks for the warning, Vivo. You went inside. You took a rest, and I believe you got alerted either by bad. I didn't write it down properly, unfortunately. Either by bad dreams again, or because you heard whispering behind you.
I think it was the latter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the latter. When you looked around, you saw that there was a couple other people who were very interested in what was going on, who were saying something that at first you didn't quite understand. Not that they weren't speaking common, but that they were talking like, that something was very wrong and that they were looking to do something, like some sort of freak. And when you looked back at the boy, you discovered that in the spaces where he'd been hurt, he he'd always looked like human with some elven mixed in, but now he's sporting scales on those parts of his body that were hurt, which is quite alarming. Uh, Deciding to keep him safe, the three of you, all three of you, Nora, the boy, and Ralph, all moved off to the corner, deciding what to do next. I believe you decided that you were going to go to the school/library that's next to it. And I think that's where we left off last time.
I know we were leaving the bar because we didn't trust them not to jump the kid and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna stay because I wasn't supposed to. The next session I wasn't supposed to be here.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We were supposed to heal while we went to the school. Sorry.
So here's how we're gonna have this happen, so that your character isn't sidelined through the entire of this. In a normal non D&D world set Call of Cthulhu game, this would not be happening most likely. But because I don't want to sideline you, and you're not dead yet, your character survived. I'm going to have that while you're discussing that that Ralph stays behind and all of that, and no seeing that Olympus has suddenly returned. Instead, there's a bit of a flicker around Ralph for just a moment, as if basically as if he's a TV signal back in the older TVs where you had to turn a knob and whatnot, and to clear the signal. Probably none of you had seen it at this point, but get the picture. It's as if he went out of phase for a second and came back in phase, like he was static for a moment, and his wounds have mostly healed. He's how many hit points do you have normally, Ralph? Is that a 10?
That's 13.
13? Okay, then you're back up to 10. Like, you feel like all your major wounds have closed. You can now walk easily without help. You're still a little bit hurt, like you're not 100% better, but you're no longer feeling like you're on death's door.
Okay.
Cool.
The kid's wounds have also seemed to have mostly closed over, although he, again, looks like he's been growing scales in places where normally skin would be knitting back together.
Does he have more scales as the wounds close?
Just in the areas where the
scales
wounds, it's
spreading?
like this fine now. It's now more of like a fine tracing of scales with some, like at the center of where the wounds were, and now it's like little bits of outshoots of more pointy scales at the side, like they're drying or flaking off or something like that. Like how like dried skin gets after a wound when you're
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. Well, I remember that I questioned him extensively, and he doesn't know anything about the scales or why they're happening, or the woman from the dreams who wants him.
No, he
so
is
we
utterly
can
confused.
doing
So.
that again. Yeah. I don't remember why we were searching the library of the school, but I trust that there was a reason for it. And I'm cool with it. I mean, the library will probably have like history information.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad place to go. I don't remember why we were doing that particular thing, but I'm cool with doing it. Let's go. If you're okay with that, Tony.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna put you there just in case one of you doesn't come back. Would you do go back to the bar? Excuse me, stream. Let's see here. There we go. So the three of you step once again onto the darkened streets of Pine Valley, leaving the waterhole behind. Ralph, seeing that you live here, you know that the library and the school, which are attached to each other pretty much, are all the way in the northeast section of the of Pine Valley, which is east on the road east from the mall, basically.
Oh yeah. We're basically up the street from the museum.
Yes. Yeah, that's another way of looking at it.
Okay. I guess I'll move us and you tell me when to stop so you can roll.
Sure. Yeah.
Supermarket. And this is the street with the museum on it, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
But wait. Is it east in the opposite direction of the museum?
Maple Street will head you down to the museum, and if you go north then on Deer Track Lane, you can get to the school. And the library is right next to the school. So this is Maple Street. What you're on right now is Main Street.
Okay.
And if you go north from the museum, you'll be able to hit the school. Right, I'm trying to grab my dice tray, but my cat is sitting directly in the way, as cats do.
Oh, right, the museum's over there. So we're going up here.
Yeah, you can either go back towards the mall where you just came from, or you can head towards the museum. They're both equal distant from the school, basically.
Okay. Are you okay with going by the museum, Ralph?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's do that way.
Kitty! I'm trying to sit on my computer. No. You sit there. Hold for a second. Hold for a second.
Okay.
Sorry, you walked
I
right
jinxed it.
past where I was making a dice roll.
Okay. So it's like to stop me till you can roll.
Sorry, I had pushed the thing up to mute while I was rolling, and my cat, of course, keeps deciding to get on there. So before I could even grab and pause your thing or even turn up the microphone, you had moved past where I was because you're moving a little bit fast.
Sorry.
Hold on.
Am I in the right spot now?
Yeah. I just need to get out my table. But basically, there's a roll that you make to see if there's a reason to consult the rolling table. Is basically how it works.
Ah.
And so then I just have to grab the table and make that a roll. There we go.
Whereas I was in the middle of smugly saying that if we made it without having anything bad roll, I would send your cat some sort of thank you present.
Okay. That roll. All right. Give me a listen check, both of you. Okay. First a question. You ever played Doom 2 from back in the day?
No.
No.
Mm.
You know, I got it.
It's hard to describe the sound of this creature. There's a particular creature in Doom 2 that makes this really weird, it's kind of guttural and, I guess the way to put it, guttural and juicy sound.
Ew.
You might you might realize that it's what I'm trying to explain once you get a chance to play Doom 2 and run into it. But basically, you're hearing something nearby, and you feel a thud, thud, thud in the road. The direction it is coming from is... It is unfortunately coming from the direction you planned on heading. So there is something stomping in the gloom to the north that apparently sees you, senses you, something.
Oh my god, there's a read lips skill. All right, I'm gonna see if I can see it, which I can't. All right, I vote we go to the school the other way. I'm gonna put my finger up to my mouth at the other two, and then like make the ear, cut my hand by my ear and point that way, and then wave to get everybody to go back in the other direction. And to start going this way. And yes, we're going fast. And that's still.
Give me stealth. Actually, oh, you're doing fast rolls. Yes. Then we'll want to roll a. Let's see. What's the right skills?
Maybe we should do
for this?
stealth. You're right.
I think for this we are going to go with. Okay, what I wanted to. We're gonna go with luck. No, Dex. There's the Dex. You're gonna roll dexterity for me. Both of you are gonna roll dexterity to see how well you are running in the darkness. All right. You successfully outpace whatever it is that was coming up down the road that you wanted to go, and have made it back here. You no longer hear it.
I guess
All
the
right.
other way.
Yeah, because the school is like here, right? So we're doing the other.
That'd be correct.
Yeah, we're doing the other sides of the square and hoping that the thing keeps moving south. Or, that we outrun it in a circle and can close the door in its face, something like that. I'm going to start going north, and you tell me when I need to stop.
rule of thumb is to pause at every single intersection.
Okay, so
So
not on the street.
go back. Please go back to the intersection. I'm trying to find
I
a
forgot
token.
Sorry, I can barely see that is an intersection.
Sorry.
Like I can see City Hall, but I can't really see the.
Sorry, I'm on a different section of the map where I'm not at the tokens. I'm trying to find a proper token for because this is an older map. I didn't have the library list shown on the map, and I wanted to fix that before you got there. Yeah. All right. So, roll your listen checks, please.
Okay. Yep.
All right. No, neither of you hear it.
All right. Well then, all's clear. We can keep going.
No, not all's clear.
Oh fuck. Well, I meant all's clear because we don't realize there's anything there, so we're just like doopy doopy doo, keep going in the same direction until something kills us.
All right. So which order would you guys be in? Who's up first? Who's up first? So, like, put yourself here. Whoever's first.
I think it's me because I have night vision.
Would you want the kid behind you or between the two of you?
Or between.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I have night vision, and I'm not I wasn't recently incredibly injured, so I think I'm definitely the point person here.
All right. From the darkness of that side street comes one of the skittering rat creatures with the many legs. It is running straight at Arthur. Well, not Arthur. Ralph. Why do I keep doing that? Arthur's been dead for a long time at this point. So, let us get our initiative tracker going.
Remind me how I roll initiative again.
You go to you go to combat, and then you roll the one that says dexterity to turn onto the tracker.
Turn on tracker, right. Thing. At least you're honest.
Oh, joy.
Yeah. So, you hear the rat thing squeaking. It dives right for Ralph's ankle, and it is trying to bite, which it misses. Nora, you are up.
I gotta look at my inventory. Anything I can left that I can like I know my hands are full. So the first step is probably to drop everything I'm carrying. Yeah, like I have a shopping bag full of pretzels and a bunch of water bottles and nothing you can hit something with. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the tail slap that I've tried in the past.
Right.
It's the equivalent of stomping. Yes, sorry. Remind me how we did that attack. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on combat. I just don't remember. I think it was something. I think it was like Brawl that we were using, but Okay. Holy shit. Yeah. No. All right, I'm gonna do an extra wiggle as I slither back into the front because I want to clean my tail. I'm trying to scrape the goop off on the asphalt. Sweet. Excellent. I'm sure that won't get me killed. Ah, that makes sense. All right, let's keep going. I mean, yeah, I'm just doing like the icky foot dance, but with the snake version, just swiggling back and forth on the street, going, get it off, get it off, get it off. Trying to scrape it all off the bottom of my tail. And that's an intersection. Yep. Okay. Um, okay, that's worth. Yeah, we can do that. The map is now black. I cannot tell you when we come to the next intersection because I can't see anything. Generally speaking, no. All right. Yes, I'm. Yeah, I was gonna say that's not encouraging. No. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna point out that this town has weird zoning laws. Um, but it's smart. You got the mall and the library and the high school all on the same street. Like the teenage, you created teenager street. Okay. But yeah, you just like you created the street that the teenagers want to be on. If they're not the kind that go to the mall, they're probably the kind that go to the library. Like it's just all right. Um okay, so but it feels even though it's got like cute suburban houses, it feels really ominous as we're walking down. All right, so these are for the walk down the street. Where the hell is Spot in there?
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Testing. Okay, there we go. Now it can hear me. It's weird because I know I saw the line go up and down earlier when I was talking in it. I just noticed that now. I hate when that happens. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, those checks are for sort of the length of the street, if that's allowed. For all the good they've done me. I don't know if Ralph is feeling creeped out either, but I am, so I did. I tried. But yeah, I think like my blood is still kind of pounding in my ears from the fight, so I can't really hear anything. And that's the end of what I can see. Ah, there we go. Ooh, I like the picture for the library.
Thank you.
Oh,
For a view
that's
beyond just
that's what that was.
beyond the houses.
Sorry, what, Sony?
I was trying to figure out what that picture was. I didn't know what it was until you said it. What it was.
Very condensed library picture. And it, living before you is the large school building, clearly recognizable by its kind of institutional look. Um, the schools seem to be about the same all throughout and Lauren. So it's like an easy thing to recognize. Whereas the 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 library is a bit cozier. It's a much smaller building, but it looks like maybe at one point it was like two houses that the connector gates and everything like that were taken down and some extra material was added in to attach them or something like that. It has one of those looks to it.
Mm. Okay. Well, it's technically closer. Do we want to start with the library? Plus, it probably has like history information and stuff. I'm not sure what the school has because I don't remember the conversation. Tony, do you have a vote?
Oh no.
Okay, then I guess we're going to the library first. And I'm going to do another listen and spot hidden for the library specific. Holy shit.
I guess I don't gotta do one.
I mean, you're not required to, but it's helpful.
Oh, sure, that was really helpful.
Oh, the mechanics of this game is so stacked against the characters. All right, Grizz, do I see or hear anything relevant? Grizz?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. No, you do not.
Okay.
I was
Do you
trying to.
want to describe the library?
That's what I'm looking for right now. So I'm looking for my information page in the library,
Okay.
and my cat was making it difficult because he decided he wanted to sit right on the thing instead of going away because he kept trying to take my pen.
I mean, wherever you are is clearly the most interest. Like wherever you're paying attention is clearly where he should be.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the duck in Repo. All right. There we go. Information package. And all right. I'll bring you to the map. Where is the map? I know there is one. I saw one before. There it is. That's why I took this picture, because I suddenly realized, oh yeah, that's the same picture that I originally had for the library way back when. Okay. So, thankfully for you, as soon as you get to the door, you find that it is unlocked. You head inside, and it's a pretty big front area past what appears to be like a reception. Like there's like a main like there's one room that's pretty big for what it is, like a reception area, where you have like a nice big desk where people can probably come to check out books, and then there is a bigger room right past that, where you basically start seeing uh so, some sort of code. It's probably not exactly like our Dewey Decimal System, but something close, where books are organized by. There are various signs up front. Oh, go ahead.
I'm assuming it's not actually 3 stories high if it's houses that were cobbled together.
Well, the houses that are cobbled together, there's at least 2 stories, and a lot of like stuff has been like taken out and changed around. It's possible also
Okay.
that if that was mainly built that way to blend in with the other houses. It's hard to tell, really.
Okay. I was just wondering if like these levels were accurate.
It was just a good picture of a library that I found.
Okay. I was just sort of like, is this a cool picture of a library or is this the actual room that we're in? Or both? Hello?
Oh, I didn't realize you were asking a question. I thought you were making a statement. Can you repeat the question, please?
Oh no, I was. Is this what the room actually looks like?
I said no several times. I thought I said that more than once. I'm sorry. I said no. This was just a cool
No,
picture of
sorry.
a library that I
Yeah.
found.
I heard that, but then I was like, is it okay? So this is not representative. That's
No.
all I wanted. Sorry, go on.
And I thought you were saying something.
It was the same question. Because I didn't understand your answer. So yeah.
All right.
Go on.
So that's up to you guys. What do you want to do now?
So there's reception area, and then there's the normal like shelves of a library. Uh,
So did we come here to like find something to like information?
I think so, and I think it had something. I really should take notes in this game, but I don't. I would guess we should look in the history section.
Yeah. Check the Dewey
All right.
Decimal System.
This is where your library use
Yeah.
skill will come in handy.
I actually have because I'm a nerdy academic. Not that it matters. Good God. Uh, okay, kid. Do you know how to use a library? Because apparently I forgot.
Me too.
Oh no. Okay, so the kid looks around and let's see if he makes a roll. It's like, well, we do have some dusty books at home and all that. And but he shakes his head. It's nowhere near the size of this.
I'm assuming all the lights are off.
Yeah, there's no lights.
Okay, so then the computers wouldn't work either.
Correct.
All right, I guess we're just gonna have to wander the shelves and try to figure out the sections by looking like. Well, the end caps usually say like the subject matter.
Yep. And in this
Right.
case, we're going to go along with spot hidden checks.
Okay. Those go so well. What? You think that like basic thinking in this game more than you don't. I'm an academic. I don't know how libraries work.
Don't worry, you've got a third person with you who can, who can help out, so you're not flailing the rest of the time. So, so the three of you start wandering around inside the library, and eventually the kid called out, uh, 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 Miss Miss Surface Lady, I think I found it.
Racist, but okay.
Well,
I will go
Surface
over to
is
where the kid is.
the name of your race. So
I know. It's like Miss Black Lady. Not
well, no, well, if he called you Snake Lady, well, yeah, well, still at the same time, it's like never mind. It wasn't intended
like I'm pretty
like
sure
that.
I introduced
Still,
myself to whatever. Yeah, it's fine. I will go over.
he kind of points at the end cap on this one that talks about histories. Uh, I'm thinking this is what we're looking for, right? Yeah, you wanted some history.
Yes, thank you. And let's see if I continue to be unable to read the damn book titles.
Alright, we're gonna go for another try of the library use to see if you find it on first try.
Come on. I got the spot hidden, damn it.
Oh, spot hidden. Oh, you're the one that rolled that second one. Okay. Let's see if spot hidden reveals anything interesting. Hmm. Let's see. So your spot hidden, you find a bunch of different books. Let's see here. What will be some of the titles to make up on the spot? You see one like on the ancient Milan, the Milan Empire. You find something on uh the what is the Chaos Island? What are the Chaos Islands? History of uh, why is my brain not working tonight? History of Hellspring. History. Why is my brain not working tonight? There's a bunch of different lands that come to mind, and then it's like my brain keeps saying one or two letters off, and I hate when that happens. The lands of Kolar, another one that talks about the city state of Orin, something that talks about dragon riders, something about uh, the the lands beyond the ocean, something about ancient temples, something about the the land of Ithan. Uh, do any of those titles seem interesting to your character?
The first one is the place where that that that's the empire that used to be here, right?
Technically, the Melon Empire used to be all through this region. Give me a history
Right, but
check.
it's but it's the thing that collapsed that had the weird collapse that seems to be happening again.
Give me a history check. You don't
Well, you know
remember.
it's
You
not
just
gonna
know
work.
that it sounds familiar.
All right, I'm grabbing that one, and oh shit, what's the one of the ones in the middle also sound the one about ancient temples. I'm also grabbing that.
Okay. What
Ralph,
about
do you have any that you
yeah?
particularly want to read?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
All
So
right.
yeah, those two.
So you said I'd imagine you head off to the side where there are chairs and what's the proper term? Settees? Something that are more
Sure,
comfortable
yeah.
for something that are more comfortable for a snake person body.
Yes, like a divan or a settee would be really good for, yeah, a couch thing. Yeah, I will take up the couch thing and hopefully this stretch the others. And let's see, the kid wasn't with us when we found the ancient temple, so I'm going to give the ancient temple book to Ralph to see if he can find anything like that looks like where we were to help us understand, like, yeah, where we were, when we were, what gods might have been involved. And I'm
So,
going to read the history of the empire.
so do I need to roll anything?
Uh, both of you can give me history checks again.
Come on, man.
How did I find that out?
Okay. So Nora is studying the Milam Empire. Uh, and I will read you out my Milam Empire cliff notes here. It was an empire a long time ago that came up after the Sundering. The Sundering happened about 6,000 years ago. This empire came out about 4 to 5,000 years ago. It was ruled mainly by humans and lizard folk. They worshipped the goddess Woos and thought of her as the divine light. The divine light is a god who's believed to be one of the main 20 gods that exists in the pantheon. However, no one's entirely sure which one the divine light actually is, only that the divine light is supposedly the most powerful but doesn't actually use that as I am the ruler sort of thing. So like pretend like Odin or Zeus and like that were hidden among their other gods instead of saying I am this, I am that. Um they had enslaved others, however, especially the Minotaurs. They built roads throughout the continent of Meeg, which is to the north, all the way to Kolar, which is actually to the south of you, past the mountains to the south, which was the country, the continent of Eberus, which is where you are now. This civilization thrived for thousands of years and formed the basis of laws and architecture all over both Meeg and Eberus. However, It was disbanded about 2,000 years ago due to slave rebellions, mostly from the Minotaurs, breaking the empire up. There was also a religious shift at the time, and people started questioning the concept that Wus was the divine light, and after other possibilities, uh, they left behind other scattered empires and new kingdoms, which came up in their wake. This does not sound like the book that you would have needed, because doesn't seem to be anything
No,
to
it
do
does
with what was
not.
here. As for Stony, you're reading on the temples. It
Yeah.
says something about divine temples, something maybe about the divine light, something about like, 4 of them all together, 4 different points of the world. It's hard to tell where any of them are. You're basically feeling like this has nothing to do with what you saw, and it's like you're not even getting any good information. It's like it's basically not interesting you and doesn't seem to be pertaining to what's going on. So it looks like you didn't find a good book either.
Okay. I can't find nothing here saying where we were.
Okay. I guess we can go back and look again. Um, would for any reason would lore be in a different section from history?
You can try to find a lore section if you want.
Okay.
Do
I guess it would
so.
take.
Give me another library use, please.
I would take a library use to figure out if that would be a separate section. Damn it. This game is so. Oh. Okay.
Okay. So yes, it would be in a different section. Might be pertaining to different things. You head to the lore section. What type of lore are you looking for specifically?
Lore about this region, specifically about
This
the area
region.
around Pine Valley, where the kingdom that collapsed,
All right.
and the thing with the
Okay. Well, some of that
drow and
would some
all
of
of the
that
stuff that
would
we've learned about.
be more history than lore. Um, let's see, lore. How wide out are you planning to look for regionally? You're looking for like going from this location only to this country to this landmass to this hemisphere sort of thing.
Country or smaller.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm really
Mm,
trying to figure out what is known about what happened the
okay.
last time weird shit happened and then everything sank.
All right. Let's see if I can find the right thing, because there is some stuff that you would find in lore about that pertains to this region. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, you're asking for something very specific, and I need to remember which book it's in. Which of my
Okay.
notebooks it's in, because it's actually, I know exactly what it is. I just have specific wording, uh, basically specific wording about it when you come across a lore book pertaining to prophecy, and something about it makes you think it might have something to do with this, or it's just something that's interesting based on your role. And I need to find it because I have a specific thing about it, and I forget if I wrote it down outside of this thing. It's been a while. So, like, trying to find which book certain things are in, is a little bit tedious, you know. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah, it's a prophecy about the end of the world. You're not entirely sure why this is speaking to you, but it's like you don't know if how much of it will actually pertain to what's going on, but you feel that something in the following prophecy has to do with what's going on here. You just don't know what. But like basically you scanned through it and like you were scanning through some of the lore books, like you just checked out the one on prophecy and you just happen to feel in your soul that something in this prophecy has something to do with what's going on. Not the entire prophecy itself, but like some snippet, something in this prophecy about the end of the world is coming in there. And the prophecy is the darkness will rise with the coming of the void dragon, the Messiah of demons, the hope of the lesser, the tainted serpent, the fires of redemption, and the light of salvation coming into play. They will all be present for the uplifting of the divine angel and be together again for the final sundering, where time will come undone and worlds crumble. I can read you the entire snippet if you want, or just leave it on that prophecy.
I'd like the entire snippet. I also feel like we're not going to win this.
I only said that like
It's
it's like in this there's like only like you don't feel like the entire prophecy is coming into play. It's just that a part of you feels like something in this prophecy has something to do with what's going on. But the entire basically page, I believe this, yeah, it's a myth. And here's what it is. Most people have heard the story in snippets about a final battle with darkness, demons, angels, gods, and the like. It has twisted and distorted in its telling, and parts seem to have been forgotten. But even though many keep thinking the sundering heralded this, none have yet to make it come pass. The main story, heard since the first sundering after the fall of Valadar, says, and I'll read it out again. The darkness will rise with the coming of the void dragon, the Messiah of demons, the hope of the lesser, the tainted serpent, the fires of redemption, and the light of salvation. They will all be present for the uplifting of the divine angel and be together again for the final sundering, where time comes undone and worlds crumble. Such words have been interpreted in many ways and expressed in many ways. There are even additions to this prophecy that speak of warring gods setting aside their battles to fight side by side, the birth of new gods, and the possibilities of the undoing of time itself. Some parts of an additional story with the prophecy at its heart also state that time will begin and end with the eternal city. Its doom heralds the birth of gods and the death of worlds. Time itself hangs in the balance. Each of the references of the main prophecy have stories of their own. The void dragon, sometimes called the darkness or the wanderer of the stars, is said to belong to death, destruction, and chaos. The Messiah of demons, called the corrupter of souls, is said to be the student of the red shadow and sometimes called Queen of the Dead. Hope of the lesser is often found in connection with the divine light, and many point to, you're going to laugh at this, Queen Grishdrop of Kingdom of the Downtrodden to be this person. Most in the kingdom, because I exist in my character exists in this world. Most in the kingdom believe she is the daughter of the divine light. The tainted serpent, also known as the angel basilisk or the decaying one, is said to be a child of the void dragon and champion of chaos. The fires of redemption, sometimes called the horned nightmare, is thought to be both destroyer and redeemer, giving hope to those who have killed in war that they may find a better path. The light of salvation, also known as the phoenix of light, is thought to be the angel of the divine, the last high priestess of the divine light, whom Grishdrop herself saw rise. Yeah, that's the entirety of that thing. Most of that stuff is not useful or pertaining to this at all, but it's stuff that there's some aspects in there that definitely pertain to this.
Yeah, I'm taking the book. I don't know if I can get that as a handout, but I definitely want some of this
I'll
information
transfer the
with me.
information there because there's nothing on this page that's kept hidden from you.
Okay. But yeah, I'm putting that in my possession. Does the book have a specific name?
It's just something about prophecies pertaining to the region. I'm gonna put it down as the prophecy of the end, prophecy about the end of the world.
Okay. Okay, so I'm noting that as prophecy about the end of the world in book about lore of region. Uh,
Handout.
and I read that aloud.
Okay, so I'm gonna also share it with Stony.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Cool. Thank you.
There we go. Put it down with the rest of the handouts.
I'm also side-eyeing the kid. Did the kid react to it as I read it aloud? Actually, the child who is mysteriously sprouting scales and has been contacted, has been kidnapped by a female demon. Does the child have any reaction to this?
But the kid's kind of looking confused and mystified, as if it's kind of like an overwhelming sort of thing. He's just kind of like looking at you with wide eyes, as kids sometimes do.
Okay. So he doesn't look shifty, or like he's not staring at the scales and freaking out or anything like that.
No. It's more like you have his attention, and he's just been through a lot right now.
Yeah. It's okay. Just he kind of sounds like the tainted serpent, so uh, uh, Angel Basilisk or the Decaying, and the Champion of Champion of Chaos. I heard that as the child of the Void Dragon is the Champion of Chaos, or I heard that as the child of the Void Dragon is the Champion of Chaos, but it could be that one parent is the Void Dragon, one parent is the Champion of Chaos. Huh.
Remember, interpretations get weird after a while.
I know. And that's the fun of prophecies. It can mean whatever the hell you want it to.
And there's that too. Some people just make stuff up and just say, "Oh, this fits the situation." There is that.
Okay. And do I know where the kingdom of the downtrodden is or was?
Give me a history check.
You're gonna say that.
No, you don't think you've heard of that one.
All right, I'm gonna ask the other two if they've heard of it.
All right, steady.
The what?
The Kingdom of the Downtrodden. Roll history to see if you've heard of it.
Probably not.
Yeah. The kid also shakes his head.
Eh.
He doesn't know of it either.
Well, poo. If that kobold ever comes back, I'll ask him. If we ever make it back to the bar, I'll ask the drow. Okay. Would any of these people mentioned in the prophecy be in like? Would they be in? Would there be further information in like mythology or religion?
Mythology,
Oh,
maybe.
actually, before we do that, okay. Before we do that, I should check out the lore section to see if there's anything else that is like. Now that I have some search terms, essentially, I should check if any of the
Yeah.
other books obviously reference these things. What do you want for that?
Are you looking in lore?
I'm looking in lore first.
Okay. Library use, please.
Um,
You don't find any other books that you think would be useful for you?
Okay, then mythology.
All right. Yeah, basically, it's myths, legends, and other things is basically what the section is probably going to be called. Go ahead and give me another library use to see if you find anything you think might be useful. All right.
Ha.
Let's see. So probably the most pertinent things you find even though it says books and basically there's an overlap between myths, legends, religion, and demonology, and there's basically a section that you basically move between this little section that basically encompasses all of that. That says like, yeah, we understand gods exist more or less, but there is so much unknown about them that we also have them here. And this is the section of things that may or may not be true. It's basically a section that would be called things that may or may not be true. It's hard to tell, even if some of what we know is real. These are things that we only we only think we know about them. We don't actually know for certain, but they admit that they don't know stuff. Sort of section. So it's an
Sure.
overlap section. You found it when you went looking for the books in particular, and so you find some pertaining books. You find one about that references chaos as not just a thing but a person. You find a book on demonology that references the Red Shadow. Let's see, what else are you looking for in particular under lore? In addition to those,
Yeah, anything from the prophecy or anything that sticks out about like the old kingdom, the fight, the fall of the old kingdom.
okay. Well, that stuff would be more under history than this section.
Okay.
But the stuff that you're talking about here is definitely under there. So you found one thing about chaos that mostly talks about what may be called a goddess, but is usually referred to as simply as a chaos god instead of just god with a a lowercase or uppercase g depending. They were based in some ways they were anti-gods, like sometimes called the unmakers. They were sealed away by
Okay.
the divine light, except for like a handful of really lesser ones and one greater one. The greater one is sometimes is known as the chaos with a capital C, but she's also known as the goddess of nightmares.
Yeah, definitely taking that book.
She is also, but the main thing is she's a chaos. She does she basically causes things that shouldn't happen to happen at times. Like you're in a like a let's say you were in a very heavy gravity well situation out in space. She suddenly reverse that. Everything is anti-gravity now, just for fun, or just because she's there. Uh, Sometimes the opposite things would start happening around a chaos because they unmake things, but sometimes they just also cause things to go crazy. And again, she is the goddess of nightmares, so things that shouldn't happen around her sometimes. The other one, at least that's what it says in the maybe real, maybe not real books. The other one's about the Red Shadow. The Red Shadow is supposed to be a demon. A demon. It's sometimes referred to as a demon lord. But it says that this particular demon lord doesn't have a layer of the abyss, and demon lords are supposed to have a layer of the abyss that they're tethered to. That something happened, and this one is, even though he's got lordly power and somewhere to reconstitute if destroyed on a mortal plane, doesn't seem to have their own little kingdom. Instead, they hang out with other disenfranchised eldritch, not eldritch, powerful beings. Usually using mortals as warlocks. Supposedly, for a while, was locked away in a vault of some kind. It's unclear what that was referring to. Was locked away for a while and has some pretty strange allies. Some sort of lich is listed as supposedly being an ally, but it's unclear where this lich is. And there's something that, even though it's a demon, apparently consorts with devils at times. Something about a court of chaos that supposedly is some sort of unification between the two warring factions of demon and devil that apparently this weird demon is maybe spearheading.
Okay, I want both of those as handouts too, if that's possible. And what is it called again? It's the red.
The red shadow. I don't have those
Red
as
shadow.
I sadly do not have that information on as handouts. That's just me regurgitating information that I have stored in my brain.
Okay.
But this is a video, and you'll be able to find it, look it up on the VOD if you don't want to take notes. So.
Okay. So I'm taking both of those books as well.
Anything
and
you?
I read everything out, so everybody heard it.
All right. What about you, Stoney? Are you just listening to what Nora is telling you, or are you still actively looking for anything?
I was just listening to it in order to say.
The kid is like looking at you and going, "The red shadow. That's that red demon guy that she was with."
Did you hear somebody call him that?
No, but that's what he looked like. Sometimes he was a big, scary, foreign, weird, kind of flat-faced demon guy with wings, and other times he was turning into this weird shadow form that was all red. Of course, he's the red. Gotta be the red shadow, right? And there were devils.
I agree with you.
And there were devils along with but he's a demon. The kid's like looking very excited and clapping his hands together. It's like, we found something. You found something.
Yes, we did. That sounds like who kidnapped you.
He nods and then gets this look on his face. Mm.
What's up?
No. It's like he just kind of blinks at that, and it's like, it's just thinking that's even scarier about what whoever took me, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like it's part of something really big.
And then he thinks for a moment. It's like, wait, is that part of the prophecy you were reading? And he gets this quizzical look on his face.
It might be. You might be part of the prophecy. I don't know yet. You definitely encountered people who are in the prophecy. But they're immortal beings who live a long time, so even though this feels like the end of the world, it might not be.
Well, we can't even see the sky. Well, I mean,
I know, the darkness came. It sounds like the prophecy.
Kind of nods a bit at that.
Although we don't know if this is true for the entire planet or if it's just true here. Of course, the prophecy also doesn't say it doesn't have to necessarily be the whole planet, but you know. So yeah, it sounds like the god of nightmares is after you, and there may be red shadow involvement. feeling, by the way?
Uh, I feel okay. A bit itchy, and it kind of like touches the scales. This just feel weird.
I'm sure they do if you're not used to them. Have his scales visibly grown at all?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to do next. Stony, do you have any ideas?
You're in the library?
Yeah.
You said the school was connected to the library, right?
It's basically right
Yes.
next to it. So yeah.
Maybe we could explore the school.
Okay. I'm down with that. Before we explore the school, can we look and see if there's a librarian's office? Just because librarians are smart and they might have been researching something, like there might be books on their desk that would be really relevant.
Sure. Give me a search hidden check.
Because those go so well. Okay, no office.
Like you look around, but yeah, you don't notice an office anywhere. None visible. It's like, nope, no office.
Can I look behind the front desk on the way out?
Sure. Give me another spot hidden
Okay.
check.
Why the hell not? Okay. Bump
Yeah,
my
you
spot.
don't notice any books or papers that are laying on this desk. Sadly.
Okay. To the school.
To the school.
We both have 25 first spot hidden. We're so screwed. Like, I know there's just massive amounts of clues that we've walked right past as a party.
Possibly, but you also found something very interesting.
I'm still convinced there was something better in the museum that we just walked right past.
Probably.
Yeah. The other thing about this game, like, it's so easy for characters to die that we could potentially wind up having a new party search the library every month.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need to fix the fog of war on this map.
Yeah.
Because it was not, it was still all fogged up from the last time I ran this, which was years and years ago, and that was in 5th edition. So 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. So I had monsters everywhere, and it was just annoying battles instead of subterfuge and all that. So that was kind of annoying to me.
I need some monsters.
Oh, and of course it's the old style map, so it doesn't have the cool door. Doesn't have the cool effect doors either. Sorry. It has the old style doors.
Okay, it's like playing with an actual paper.
Yeah. Hold on. Did I actually draw your? Yeah, I did. Good. Good. Where's your tokens? Here we go.
I still can't see anything.
That's because I haven't put your tokens on the map yet.
Okay, that'll do it.
There we go. So before you is the school. Much like the library, the doors to it are unlocked. The silence is almost oppressive here, as if something is holding its breath, rather than it being truly empty.
Okay, all I can see is the health bar and name for a Kai. I can't see anything else on this map.
Not even.
Nope.
That might be the only.
Not even me.
Can you see now?
No.
Hold on. Let me check your tokens. It might have become unstuck in terms of. Your vision is there. It should be visible. Okay. Ah, did not mean to do
Okay,
that.
I can see the whole map. Not liking.
How about now?
Now I can see everything.
Can you see the whole map, or you just see what's in front of you?
I see the whole map. Now it's dynamic lighting. Okay.
Okay, it was just taking a moment to update. I just wanted to check
Okay,
on
so
that.
it's a school, and it feels like there's an ominous hush.
Yeah. Feels very oppressive. The kid shivers a little. I'm not used to schools.
Well, they don't usually feel like this. So these slash marks are doors, right?
Yeah, that's my old. That's just my hand drawn map slash door thing instead of the cooler maps.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Well, actually, I'm gonna read if there's anything written on this first door.
Give me 1 second to actually pull up my original hand drawn map, which actually has marks on it telling me what door's what. No, that's the police and fire. That's the main map. That's the hospital. That's the mall. I know I have one on the school because that's where I drew this one from. And I'm trying to figure out where my map to the school went because it actually has, again, it has labels. Things always go missing on you right when you need them. You ever notice that?
Yeah. I also noticed that if I donate something I haven't used for 6 years, I need it 3 months
Immediately.
later.
Yeah. Or like when you donate money and go, I've got plenty of money, you suddenly find out your account is nearly tapped out. Here we are.
Yep.
Okay, so actually I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna go with that is a bathroom. Well, that's right. This place originally had stairs, and we're supposed to have an up and a down. That's right. Forgot about that, but I only ever drew the one floor, so I'm gonna pretend that doesn't exist. In fact, I changed up the map on this when I drew it because I always, anytime I have a physical map in front of me and a map on my thing, I always change it, so I kind of interpret things differently. So what you have here is a small bathroom. What we have here appears to be a kind of like a reception area, possibly, or maybe check in, and that's what you see on that side, right there.
Okay. Is the reception area does it have glass? Can we look through?
No.
Into it without?
No, it does not have glass.
Okay.
But one is clearly labeled bathroom, and you can probably, even with that rolling, you can probably. Well, actually, no, it's been a while. For other things, but there's the universal symbol for bathroom that's for single stall, no stall bathroom, so it's for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna roll stealth because this feels ominous as fuck. Not that it will help me. And I was right. Hey guys, I think we should be really quiet right now.
Oh wow. The kid crouches down and he is very hard to hear anything about him. Like you two are being kind of noisy. Somehow somehow Nora is just making a lot of noise, even though she doesn't have any shoes, while Ralph's shoes are echoing.
There's like a still a rat bone stuck to the underside of her tail, and it's clicking on the tile.
Something like that, yeah. Like caught between two calloused scales, so she's not really feeling it.
uh, I don't know how you stomp with scales, but I think she's pulling it off. All right, I'm gonna just open the door and peek my head into reception, see if there's anything interesting.
All right. I hate when that happens. So I go to change something, and instead of that, I have this. All right. You open up the door. You peer inside, and what you have in front of you is a fairly small room. Uh, there is a desk and two what appears to be waiting chairs. There's an old style phone on attached to the wall. What appears to be a small bell off to the side for some reason.
We
No
should
dead
definitely ring
bodies
that.
that you can tell. There's no smell of them or anything like that, so it's probably pretty good in there.
But there's not like any interesting looking papers or anything.
Give me a spot hidden check.
Okay. Holy shit. What a waste.
Let's see here. You do spot several what look like alarming pictures on there. Has your character? Do you think your character is ever a disciplinary problem?
No, she's a goody two shoes.
How about you, Stoney? Was Ralph ever in trouble with the principal or anything of the like?
No.
All right. Uh, so some unfamiliar looking paperwork is sitting on the reception desk, and it, it's probably pretty innocuous to you at first, but Nora is kind of looking for anything out of place, and there's just something in her instincts that are probably screaming at her to take a better look at at these pieces of paper that are sitting on the desk. There's just something that's triggering alarm in her about them.
I will look.
All right. Uh, so you take a look at them, and to summarize, these are all disciplinary markup sheets, and you can see that there's actually a folder nearby that is filled with them, all with different names on them, and they basically come down to the same thing that children who were never a problem before have been acting up lately. Like kids have been getting into fights. They have been, throwing things. They have been, more than just backtalking to teachers. There's just like this big. It's almost like none of them are listening to any sort of authority, and not in the normal kid way, if you know what I mean. It's it's like
Hmm.
they're one moment away from erupting into their own little riots. As if the kids are also going crazy.
What are the dates? Like how long has this been happening?
You look you check the dates, and it looks like it's only been the last couple of days that you remember the last date of. Like in less than a
Huh.
week, this has been going on.
Okay, that's interesting. You said something about pictures. Are there pictures I should be thinking about?
What sort of pictures?
I don't know. You said something about pictures before you transitioned to this. So I wasn't sure if they were like pictures. It sounded like there were going to be pictures of like corporal punishment or something as part of this. But
No, I don't remember saying anything about pictures. I might have said something that
okay,
sounded
so
like pictures, and I was trying to figure out the right word to say, because that happens
yeah,
sometimes.
that's why I just wanted to check. Okay, so that's interesting. I'm tempted to take them, but paper is heavy, and I'm carrying a lot of. But it's also like anything I don't take, that our next characters are going to have to find all over again. um, so I'll take the folder and put it in one of my bags.
All right. Anything you want, Stoney?
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, is there any like, is it children of all ages, or is there an age where it's worse, anything like that?
They're basically saying children of all ages. That kids have been. Some kids have just been skipping school and not there, and other ones are just getting into fights and trouble, and it's of all ages. There's probably a report or two in the later ages of other disturbing things that teachers have found students doing in bathrooms. Uh, much older children,
Okay then.
but not. Yeah, I don't really want to get into that, but you know what
Okay.
teenagers losing it, losing inhibitions, shall we say,
Sure.
might be like versus littler kids.
I'm suddenly really glad I didn't go into that bathroom. Sounds gross. All right. So anyway, what do you think we should do next?
Hmm. I just guess we just travel down, check and see if there's anything from the door, from the windows, door windows as we're passing by.
Okay. Are there door windows?
Uh, yeah. You can kind of yeah, you can kind of make them out in the classrooms, since classrooms are designed around like all potential types of students. They don't have any windows that look on the outside, because even though vampires are not gonna have there are other light sensitive races. And there are living vampire children who might also be affected by sunlight. So adult vampires aren't going to be in school. Well, not the undead ones anyway. The ones you really have to worry about. but there are windows on doors in here, so that those that need to look in on students can do so.
Stoney, do you want to lead?
Is that leave or lead?
Lead.
Oh, well, I can't see very much.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I keep forgetting that vision isn't equal.
Do you want to give
Okay.
doesn't he have a flashlight?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's see if it's set up on the sheet, because I had to pull it down. Yeah, I put low light on there.
It looks like it is. There's a circle around him.
Yeah, so you do have your flashlight on, even from the token, so that's good.
Okay, so I'm actually outside of what you can see, it looks like. But I guess let's go this way. And we can.
Yeah.
So are these classroom doors?
No, those are office doors. They don't have
Do they have
the
windows?
office doors don't have windows. No.
Okay, I want to look in the offices.
All right. So
That'd be good.
the first office is open. This one appears to be the principal's office, actually. It has all sorts of like a couple of nicer chairs, and a settee. Uh, there's various pictures everywhere. Looks like they were a human male. They no window again, but there do appear to be some extra lights in places that would have kept this place nice and bright back when this place had power. Um, there are bookshelves as usual, a nice desk, and as I said, chairs and pictures.
I'm gonna look for documentation again.
All right. Give me another spot hidden then.
Nope.
Nope. This possible that only the reception area had the files and that hadn't quite gotten here into the principal's room.
Okay, and I'm gonna look at the bookshelves to see if there's anything relevant there.
I was counting the bookshelves as part of the spot hidden check, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Everything in the room.
Okay.
You don't have to keep rolling.
Okay. Okay, cool. Then is this next one the vice principal's office?
The next one is locked.
Well, I do have a one-time bolt cutter, but I don't think that would work on a doorknob.
No, it would not.
I have a one-use bolt cutter, but yeah, okay. And we probably shouldn't make a ton of noise trying to break it open. At least not until we're leaving the building. So, I will gesture to the locked doorknob to see if Ralph has any opinions about it or any way to get it open quietly. Sonny, did you say something?
Oh no, I was just coughing.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Does your character have anything that would open the lock?
Let me check just to make sure. No. Unless I use my last bullet, might be able to blow the lock off.
Yeah, given that it feels like something's watching us, we probably shouldn't do that, at least until we're on our way out, and you might want to save that for something that's going to kill us. But
yeah.
the pretty blasé use of the bullet given the situation. Okay, I vote we move on for now. And is this a classroom door? Can we see anything through this? I'm over here.
I'm sorry. Yes, that is a classroom door.
Anything through it that looks interesting?
Give me a spot hidden check.
That doesn't go so well.
Yeah,
Swear, next time I build a character, spot hidden is going to be really high, and I'm going to have a fucking gun. Like that is what I've learned from this game so far.
Like you're gonna be an off-duty police officer who was trapped somewhere. Got it. And
Absolutely.
So for them, it was it's just another day, and they've just woken up to monsters. But yeah,
my smoke detector is showing off. That that means it needs batteries, or there is no fire out there.
you might want to double check that.
Yeah, I am. It might be. It must be the battery, because it's like There's definitely no smoke in my apartment.
You sure
I
it's
pushed the
not like?
button a bunch.
You sure it's like not like an apartment above or below you? I don't know what position you have in the apartment.
Yeah, there could be the apartment next door or the apartment above, but like there's no smoke in the room, and it's not hot. And this isn't where the kitchens are located in the complex. And it turned off. So I think it means I need a battery. Sorry about that. I will change the batteries later.
That's okay. It's just worried about you there.
That was a yeah. It's also like there's a smoke detector between the bedroom and the kitchen, and this is the one in the bedroom that was going off. So I definitely don't think yeah, I was more worried about carbon monoxide, but I have a separate carbon monoxide detector, and that's not going off. So yeah, I think it's a feed me a new battery.
I can't even have my smoke detector in my kitchen because I'll accidentally set it off with things. So I keep it in my bedroom where I want to be woken up if there's a fire. If it's if it's only in my kitchen or the hall, I might not hear it in time. But if it's in my bedroom and it gets there, I can get out the window.
That's smart.
Uh,
Now that I've completely disrupted everything.
I think it's a fire alarm.
So I'm looking through a window into a classroom.
Yep. I'm staying
What do
back
I
here with the two.
right?
I couldn't hear anything you guys were saying.
Oh, I'm looking into a window into a classroom.
Yep. And you don't see anything
and
unusual.
I failed my spot hidden.
Yeah, just
Right.
standard things you would expect in a child's classroom.
Okay. I'm gonna keep going, although I'm getting nervous about how far behind my compatriots are. I don't
Yeah. Arthur, are you
jumped
standing
by
put? Or
something
are
alone.
you going with Nora?
Is the kid coming along?
Yeah, the kid will come along.
Okay. Just in case she needs backup.
Yeah, we all died together. Okay.
We were all together last time, and only one person died.
Right?
And one person has since vanished. You have no idea where he is. He hasn't come back yet.
Well, that's happened to all of us at this point, so
Yeah, but not as long as
that's less disturbing. Yeah, not as long. Okay, I'm gonna look in this door next.
All right.
Also, if Ralph comes along, we have 2 chances to fail the spot hidden instead of 1.
Mm-hmm. And for him, they're a bit harder since since he can't see in the dark.
Right, but he can put his flashlight through the window and sleep it around. Thus, interesting anything living inside of it.
Yeah. Same description as the other one. This looks like what you think a standard classroom looks like.
Okay. Like that one. Ralph, are you looking at this one?
Arthur? Or not Arthur. Ralph!
No,
Why?
yeah.
Why, brain? Why?
Because they look noir. I think, or no, right? Arthur
No,
looks like Arthur. Never mind.
I think it's because the two. Well, Nora is not. Nora's a regular name too. Why am I thinking? Gonna say that's the two regular names, but Nora's also a regular name, as in Nora Roberts.
I had fun with her last name, but yeah, her first name is normal. Well, Stevens is normal too, but the pronunciation is a bit off because she's a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we suck at looking into classroom doors. I'm just gonna keep doing it. That's another one. Does it still feel like something is holding its breath and watching us?
Well, it's just like the building has that oppressive feel to it.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering if it had changed at all.
I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna keep failing these checks, or we'll wait for you, right? Because something could happen. How's work going, Grizz?
It's going okay. Oscillating between days from overworked and days where there's very little.
At least you have days where there's little again.
This is true. And I had to replace my chair
That's a lot.
again. I replaced it last year, and that chair broke. And so this year, when I bought that was an expensive chair too. So this year, when I bought another chair, I decided I'd rather spend the money that I usually look at as a scam or nonsensical money to spend on the 3-year replacement, no questions asked plan, just in case that it breaks again on me.
Yeah, that's a decent investment. Yeah, I usually look at that as a scam too, but sometimes I get it. It kind of case by case, and whether or not I trust them to actually follow through on it. Like I tried to do the warranty for my new mattress, and then Amazon's thing was like, let's decide if we want to let you return it or not. That's not what a warranty is supposed to look like.
Oh dear.
And well, that's what I get for ordering a mattress off Amazon. It was $200 instead of $1,000, like I thought it would be in a mattress store. But
yeah, I bought my last
the
mattress
downside is
from
no warranty.
I forget what exactly, but I bought the frame from like IKEA or something.
Yeah, my bed frame is from IKEA, but the mattress matters like a lot more.
Yeah,
in terms of
yeah.
how I sleep.
Yeah, I bought a nice, not exactly Tempur-Pedic, but something along those lines, sort of mattress.
Yeah, I was looking for memory foam.
Memory
For
foam,
sure.
yeah.
The best the best I've ever slept was when I was house sitting for someone who had an actual brand name Tempur-Pedic bed that I was sleeping in. I was also sleeping with her giant dog, which is I like having a dog next to me. Like I sleep so much better that way. I don't know if it was a mattress or the dog.
Poor Soap.
It was amazing.
Soap will be replaced by a dog eventually.
Yeah, not at this apartment. It's not allowed.
No dogs in your apartment. Got it.
But yeah, well, it's like I have a cat, so I fantasize about having a dog because I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have a litter box, and they wouldn't be they wouldn't be able to get, like there would be safe spaces to put things where the pet couldn't get at them. It wouldn't be as 3D as a cat. But then if I had a dog, I know it'd be like cat. I like both, but the grass is always greener kind of thing. And I really want to have kids. So honestly, my next, like when Soap dies, that I might go without pets for a couple of years, and just like get kids set up and settled and stuff first. I'm gonna adopt, so it kind of depends what age the kids are. But, yeah. Adopt through foster care, because adopting not through foster care costs $40,000 per child. That will not be happening.
That's just insane. Those kids need loving homes, and yet there's plenty of loving homes that can't afford that sort of thing, and then there's plenty of non-loving homes that can, that just think of children as status things. And it's like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have the money for kids.
And right? I don't have the money. Like I would be fostering right now if I
Yeah.
could afford a second bedroom, but I can't. So,
Yeah,
um,
mine's my work office, and I need that, unfortunately, or else because I can't really deal with not having an office space. My brain just can't handle it.
yeah,
But if I had,
yeah.
another space, it's like, yeah, if I could manage it, if I could, a kid that likes cats, that sort of thing, or the cats
Well,
were
right
even
now I
allowed,
keep
because I
thinking
know
about like a trans
some
kid. Like
definitely.
I just think about being like a safe space for trans teenagers right now. Like if I could pull that off, I would be doing it. But like I live in a 1 bedroom apartment that doesn't have a bedroom door, so it's
Yeah.
definitely not appropriate. Um, like I could make room for like a baby because they don't get their own room for a while, but my neighbor would probably kill me. The neighbor who shares a bedroom wall with me is incredibly noise sensitive and
Uh.
hates me
Oh
for things
no.
that happened years ago. Um,
Was
like I
that?
was mopping the floor and I didn't realize she could hear it, and it was late at night, and I just
Oh.
moved in and I apologized, and I stopped, and then there was a like I had a bouncy ball for Zorro on the hardwood floor, and he was playing with it at night. And I was trying to get it, but I couldn't find it except by sound.
Mm.
And now, like, she fucks with me. She bangs on the bedroom wall if I cough at
Uh.
night.
That's
I'm
terrible.
like, "That's a baby." She would freak out. There's a baby in the bedroom crying 3 times a night. She would just straight up murder me.
Yeah, and
Other people here have babies, but
yeah, and that poor kid, but also, not good with
with
with sorry, my brain just just went blank on what I was trying to say. I hate when that happens.
it's okay. It happens. Like it's a normal brain thing. I'm learning about this in school. That's actually how brains work, including like going to an interview and forgetting all the questions you had for them. That's also how brains work.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, but then the interviewers don't seem to care about that sort of thing and get mad at you for it. And it's like, how do these people not
that's
understand
why
that?
you're right. Okay. Yeah, because they don't want to.
Yeah, too many people not understanding reality.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much of that opinion that of what you should do versus what you can do, how your body actually works. Like our
Mm-hmm.
society always prioritizes what you're told to do over what you can actually do.
Yeah, like
Oh, wait, Tony, are you back? No, he's still muted. Okay.
Oh
right.
yeah,
Oh, there.
Oh, you're.
I was back like a couple minutes ago.
So
Sorry,
sorry.
we were really chatting because we were waiting for you.
Oh,
Okay, so I'm gonna look at another door. It's gonna go exactly the same. It did.
oh, I found
Oh,
something.
but which door are you at, Cindy? Are you at the one that you're physically at, or you're at the same door as Nora?
One I'm physically at. I'm trying to keep some not
Okay,
looking in the same door as her, but still having the child in between us.
that makes a lot of sense. I just wanted to double check before I read anything out. Okay, let me find that particular room. Whoa, I forgot about this one. Sorry, very old crumbly papers. Like some of these papers are probably like from 20 years ago. That I was looking at. Okay, so I can get that room, which would be that. All right. You basically look around into the room, and you shine your flashlight in, get a little light, and it's a bit more colorful than one might think in just a an older kid's schoolroom. But this looks like the sort of schoolroom you might find like for younger kids, ones that are learning to read, learning their colors, learning to count, that sort of stuff. The furniture is a mix of different sizes since in addition to most kids being small, there are kids from like, that are kobolds, kids that are, goblins, some that are probably like of a much larger race. So it's like not one size fits all. It's like a mismatch of sizes and a good splattering of different kinds of people in the country. Uh, so it looks like you're looking into like a first, maybe at most second year like student or the equivalent there of an R world, since I know certain races would be on an accelerated program due to their mature how fast they mature, and others would be at a slightly slower pace. Elves, for example, might spend several years in each of these learning things before they learn much quicker. Like like elvish children might take might take a while.
Yeah. Whereas lizard folk are going to be like straight on through there.
Yeah, like kobolds will be, pretty quickly. Maybe they'll spend like a certain like small amounts of times in this particular classroom, and then they'll before the year's out they'll have been through several classrooms.
Yeah, like 3 months instead of a year.
Yeah,
Well, not how months work here. So 1 month in this world.
yeah.
One season. Yeah.
In this country, the northern continent,
Yes.
the one of Meeg actually has a completely different calendar. But the southern one has the
Okay.
has the Four Seasons calendar. I put a lot of pressure on myself on these things, making the lore interesting
Your world building really is
and
fantastic.
realistic.
I really enjoy exploring your world.
Thanks. But that's basically what he's seeing. He's seeing a younger kid's schoolroom.
And there's nothing that like stands out as
You don't see any bodies or
weird
anything like
or
that. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yay.
Damn it. Okay. Next classroom. There's we get a cling drop. We're fucked.
Nope.
Ralph, you want to do one?
How about at this point, since you haven't given me one in a while, you give me a listen check as well.
Oh, joy.
I'm assuming that's both of us.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's how I thought that was gonna go. Holy shit! The flash, the flashlight is like the key to actually seeing stuff in here. Go Ralph.
Yay.
I can't see which door you're at. You're kind of in between rooms at the moment. Are you the one closer to Aki or further away from him?
Closer.
All right. Well, I'm gonna move
Yeah.
you to here then.
Okay, so
All right.
that's the door. Okay.
All right. So you peer into the room, uh, and you can see what looks like slightly bigger textbooks. It looks more like desks, less color, more uh, looks like posters. Like maybe some harder math. Maybe some geography. Like you could see uh what looks like the continent of Eberus on there, which is the continent you're on, showing specifically in good colors the land of Amlarn, which is your country. It's the easternmost part of Eberus, northeast. Covers the northeast section of Eberus, all the way down to the mountains almost to the south. So it looks like an older kid's classroom. Can I get another listen check, please?
From both of us?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Why the hell do I bother?
All right. So from the darkness, almost behind Ralph, oops, wrong thing. Uh, wrong picture.
Well, that doesn't look good.
No, it was the wrong picture. I thought it was something particular, and it turned out to be the wrong picture, or the picture got changed over time. 1 second. That should be a bit bigger than that. I don't know why the it's because I put it on I put it on everything and not on tokens. Tokens would help. All right, so it doesn't have it doesn't have blood on its muzzle, but you see what appears to be a white wolf charging out of the darkness. This is definitely an actual wolf or wolf-like dog, and not one of those monsters. What do you guys do?
Is it? It's running towards us. Is it like
You got
growling?
you got
Is
a
it
moment.
doing...
You got a moment to think. That's the only information you get. What is your what is your first reactions, guys?
freeze?
Can we try to get into one of the classrooms?
You're gonna try to open this door.
Yeah.
You try pulling up the door, but it appears to be either locked or the lock is broken, keeping it from opening. Okay, so you're freezing, and you're just panically pulling at the door, trying to duck it, and finding that it's not working. The wolf charges around you, and the kid looks startled for a moment as it leaps at him, and then he laughs all of a sudden and goes, "Devil?" and just pets as the wolf is licking him on his face. And from around the corner steps a man. I think Nora can probably see him. Can you see him, Nora?
Let me scroll back over. Sorry, I had to scroll to look at the end of the... Yes. Oh my god, what a smarmy dude.
Yeah, you see a blonde human looking man step from around a corner. He kind of grins a bit and it's like, looks like my companion here has found some people. Yeah, hey kid, what brings you all the way out here? And I think about that is where we are going to end this session. A nice little cliffhanger.
Well played. Well played.
I'm just happy you didn't pull out your gun and shoot him. Because that would have like poor devil. Well, that's why I was like going, whoops, that's a wrong picture. Because instead of I was looking at my named NPCs and one said devil on it, and instead of actually the picture of Devil the wolf, it looked like a devil. Like what? When did this happen? It's supposed to be Devil the wolf.
God. Well, you can find him a less violent mugshot for next time.
No. Oh, for Devil, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
But it's the only one that's a white wolf, so.
Fair. That was fun. Thank you.
Oh, you're most
Yeah.
welcome.
I will talk to you guys.